All right, folks, good morning. Let's get started here. So, for today, February the 21st, Friday, we have the following information. At 9:45 a.m., we'll have flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI as well. These are two major reports, so we can expect significant volatility. Next, at 10 a.m., we have existing home sales and revised U of M consumer sentiment. These two are moderately important. We'll also have the revised U of M inflation expectations, which is not expected by itself to have much impact. At 11:30 a.m., we'll have FOMC member Jefferson speaking. And then at some point today, we'll have President Trump speaking, but this is showing it after noon, so probably that's when it's going to happen. But when it does, it'll have a major impact. And I believe, let me guess, probably about executive orders. Yep. Okay. There you go. All right, folks. So let's jump into what was moving yesterday. Before we do that, let's take a look at the QQQ ETF and see how that behaved yesterday and what's doing now. So right now we can see the QQQ ETF is looking like it's going to open substantially higher than where it closed yesterday. Yesterday's action was definitely bearish, but clearly the market does not believe that the downward move we saw yesterday was justified, as we've completely recovered all of the losses from yesterday and are slightly ahead of the um, opening price of that day. So we're actually looking like we're going to open not at our close for the 19th, but very close to it. All right. Having said that, let's take a look at which stocks were moving yesterday. We looked at a few, but I'm just going to go over the ones that worked best for us. So we had um, ARM, which was bearish. It was able to pass our target number one to the downside of 149.81, after which point we were able to get into a position, and it bottomed out at 147.55. Where we could take in a partial profit. And then after that, it back backed up and went back above target number one to the downside. And then we had SoFi, SOFI. Now, financial stocks were hit pretty hard yesterday. If you looked at banking stocks, etc., they were all down sharply. SoFi, of course, is a banking stock, and it was able to hit our target number two to the downside of 15.14 a share, then bottom out at 15.06. A very nice move. All right, taking a look at the pre-market now. Let's see what's moving. All right, so we have a few stocks already showing up on my radar. Let's see, CELH is up very sharply off of earnings, um, and presently is trading up 33% on 2.4 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So, of course, that's pretty impressive there. Um, so we'll go ahead and add that to our pre-market watch list. Again, it's up due to obviously better than expected earnings. That's CELH. All right, next up is CYCU. And that currently is down 13.66%, 2.9 million shares. It's still over $1 per share. So we can add that to our pre-market radar. Um, its order book is a little thin. That's surprising. Not a lot of orders posted in there. So not sure what's going on there. Next up is HOLO. And that is presently up 22.8%, 17.1 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well. So we'll go ahead and add HOLO to the pre-market list. Next up is INTC. All right, that not moved enough, so pass on that one. Next up is LAES. That presently is only up about 1%, so not up enough there. We'll pass on that. Next up is LTRY. And that is presently up 21.23% on 2.8 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well. So we'll go ahead and add that LTRY to our pre-market watch list as well. Next up is MLGO. That is presently up 194% on about 57.8 million shares, trading at least $1 per share. Micro algo, really big move. So percentage-wise, at least. So we'll go ahead and add MLGO to the radar. Still active as we speak. Next up is NAAS, which is presently up 56%, around that, on 41.7 million shares. It's at least $1 per share as well, so we can add that to the pre-market watch list, NAAS. Next up is PLTR, and that is presently only up 2%, so not up enough, so we'll have to pass on that one. It'll have to be up at least 6%. Next up is RGTI, and that's only up about 1%, so that doesn't qualify either. Moving on, Rivian, and that had earnings yesterday after market close. Currently, it's down 8%. 4.9 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share. So obviously Rivian not looking so good. So we'll add that, however, to our watch list, as it has moved enough to qualify. And next up is SLRN. That's presently up 15.66% on 2 million shares, trading at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add SLRN to our pre-market watch list as well. And next up is, hasn't moved enough, but let's take a look at it, SMCI. That's only up 2%, but it is moving, so just maybe keep that in mind. And finally, we have TANH, which is presently up 8.36%, 2.2 million shares traded. It's at least $1 per share as well. We'll go ahead and add that to the pre-market watch list. All right, so if you folks see any other stocks meeting all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. Criteria are: it must be a NASDAQ listed stock, trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session, must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume currently, and it has a 6% price change, positive or negative. So if you see any other stocks other than the ones that I've already mentioned, let me know in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and take a look. These are the ones we've already found. Billy is close. Let's see. Yep, close. 5.79%, pretty close. I'll put that on our possibilities list. It doesn't qualify yet. It's already on our regular watch list either way, so when the market opens. Take a look. HIT. Let's see. Currently up 8.2%. 945,000 shares traded. Not moving right now. Those shares are stuck. I'll go ahead and add that to the possibilities list as well. KIT. All right. All right, so if you folks see any other stocks meeting all four of our criteria, let me know in the chat. Again, must be a NASDAQ listed stock trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session. In this current pre-market session, it must have also achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume, and currently at least a 6% price change, positive or negative. VMAR. That currently is up 13.2% on 14.3 million shares. And it's at least $1 per share. That does qualify, so we'll add that. CONL is mentioned. That's currently up 9.5%, 1.5 million shares traded. It's over $1 per share. So we'll add CONL and Blue. Let's check that one out. Bluebird Bio currently down, 40%. 1.5 million shares traded, at least $1 per share. And I'm guessing, let's see, Bluebird is down after the company announced it agreed to acquire. Oh wait, the company announced it agreed to be acquired by Carlyle and SK Capital for a potential total value of 9.84 a share. Why would that take the price down? Yeah, I was gonna say can't, but this doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. I see $3 a share in cash. Let's see. Contingent value of 684 a share payable upon achievement of sales milestone. Okay, now it makes sense. So it's a conditional deal. Because I was gonna say I've never seen a stock go down on a buyout deal, but now this makes sense. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, I guess. All right, with that one, that's going to be a weird one. So we'll see what happens with that, but I'll add that to our list anyway, since it does qualify BLUE, sorry. All right, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for today's pre-market pulse. Please be sure to like the video. I see we have 6 likes, more than 6 people watching. We appreciate the likes, but please be sure to hit the like button. That greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when we publish a new video. If anyone's watching this broadcast on a replay, if you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. There is a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone who's part of the coaching program, I'll see you there. In about 17 minutes, we'll pick up for today's trading session. Everyone else have a great trading day. I'll see you for Monday's, pre-market pulse. Take care.